Hey there, Roots of Peace Yogi. Welcome to another practice. I'm Chelsea. This is Luna, who is pouting, because I tried to put her Christmas hat on and she just like died. So anyway, I'm sorry you can't see the front of her. Let's see if we can flip her. Got it, there she is. Anyway, today's practice, and it's off. She hates it. Today's practice is a wonderful wall. So we're going to be doing yoga on the wall. It's going to be real chill and real relaxing. So grab your mat, your comfy clothes. If you are practicing on a hard floor space, grab a blanket and maybe place a blanket underneath your back when we're in the first part of the practice and the last part of the practice, because this like super heavy, or not super heavy, but super sturdy hard floor might be too much for your back muscles. So make sure that you have enough cushion if you're practicing on a harder surface, but if you're on a carpet, you're totally fine. But make sure that you have enough wall space, that there's room for your legs, and then you'll be standing against the wall later on in the practice. So do what you gotta do, get all set. It's December, happy December. So the studio has new Christmas themed decorations, which I was very excited to do, and it's just always good to change things up once in a while. So I will see you on the mat and on the wall very soon. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna get on the wall. So make sure you have your mat perpendicular to the wall. I always get parallel and perpendicular confused. Can't say it clearly. Anyway, there goes Luna. She's done. That's her 5 seconds of fame per video. So what you're gonna do to get on the wall is you're gonna scoot your bottom all the way up to the wall, and you're gonna lay down in the fetal position, either side, whatever you're rolling with today. So you're gonna scoot your bottom all the way up to the wall, and then you're gonna roll up on it. There we go. So you want your sit bones and your tailbone pushed up against the wall fairly good. We're gonna start in legs up the wall pose. So very, very descriptive. What you're gonna do is exactly what I just said. Luna's gonna get in the way, which is totally fine. She always comes in my business when I'm laying down. But anyway, scoot up as close as you can with your sit bones to the wall. You won't have a lot of like pressure, but you'll feel the wall on your bottom. She's just gonna keep clicking around in the video apparently today. And then you're gonna extend your legs up the wall. So you might be completely flat against your wall, but you might just have your heels and your sit bones touching. Either way is cool. I usually have a little bit of a bend in my knees, even when I'm in a seated forward fold. So do what's best for your body, feel it out. If you've never done this before, it's probably gonna feel a little weird at first, and that's totally fine. Once you get your legs up the wall, I invite you to place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly. And the left hand is in the center of the chest over your heart chakra. Start to come into the breath and feel out the sensations that are being created. You might find some relief in the soles of your feet, but allow yourself to sink into this pose and to let go. Legs up the wall is amazing if you suffer from anxiety. It's just a really grounding pose. So being here with your breath. And a lot of these poses are considered yin poses, which means you can hold them for 2 to 5 minutes. So if one pose really strikes you and you want to practice it more, you can hold this for quite a while. It's totally fine. Take a moment to bring your awareness to your toes. You can wiggle them out a little bit, spread. Close your eyes if they aren't already. We're going to be here with our legs up the wall for a little bit, so you don't have to worry about missing anything in terms of viewing. But keep your awareness in your feet. Notice the soles of your feet. How it feels to have them up in the sky instead of down on the ground. Let your awareness drop down to your ankles and into your calves. Notice the sensation that's there Little bit of a stretch, maybe it's a lot. You'll feel this in your shins as well, especially if you have tight shins. Move down to your knees, front and back, into your quads and hamstrings. Settle down into your hips and your sit bones, that whole area, and feel out what's grounded down. Feel your back, small of your back pushing into the wall. And you should have a flat back here, like a neutral spine, but there shouldn't be any space between your back and the mat right now. Like a lot of people have a natural curve that the mid part of their back might be up off the mat, but right now everything should be grounded. Take your awareness up further to your shoulder blades. Spread them apart. Let your shoulders droop into the earth, fully supported here. And bring your awareness to your hands. Feel them rise and fall with every breath, every sacred breath. You can think of your breath as an arrival. So every inhale is a do-over, it's a new start. And every exhale is another chance for you to let go, for you to push out what you don't need. Climb your feelings where your thoughts are into your collarbones. Move up to your neck. Notice any tense spots. And maybe just gently roll the head side to side. Track that motion. Make it intentional and slow. So slow. Come back to center. Move your awareness to your face. Soften where you need to soften. And with your eyes still closed, take your gaze to the center of your forehead, your third eye. See what you will see, as I like to say. Maybe it's dark, it's totally cool. And now head up into your crown chakra, the very top of your head. Feel that out. Notice how you're landing on your mat today. Most of the time, wall practices are pretty chill. This one's going to be really chill. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, slide the feet wide. Ooh, hit the lights on the wall so that you're in splits on the wall, essentially. And now feel out the burn, not the burn, but what's going on in the inner seams of the legs. Feel that stress, that stretch. Good stress, of course. And if you start to have too much going into your kneecaps, I usually do, you can bend the knees and back off a little bit where you don't have to have your legs so far apart. A lot of times, like if we lock our knees out and then do a wide stretch, it's too much pressure. And so adjust where you need to adjust. You're looking for a sensation of a roughly like 3 to 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. So go easy. And every time you exhale, see if you can sink further to really drop in. Feel your skin melt into the mat. Feel your muscles pull down towards the floor. You can release your hands out to the side. They can still be on your belly and your heart, totally up to you. Like I said, this is pretty passive today. As we move into the holiday season, by the way, check out the Christmas decorations. I had so much fun doing that. Thank you, Dollar Store. But as we move into the holiday season, it's important to find time to ground down. Everything is frantic and crazy. We went shopping on Saturday and oofta, it was just too much chaotic energy for me. I had to like take a step back because there's just so much. And if you're out and about, just a gentle reminder to be kind and be patient. Look out for others. People were in the way and just like rude. So take your practice off your mat and into your world to like soothe yourself and others. As you inhale next, you're gonna bring the soles of the feet together for butterfly on the wall, which is probably one of my favorites. Let your rib cage sink down into your back. Feel your skull drop into the earth. Close your eyes down again and feel your eyeballs in their sockets. Continue with your big belly breaths. And if you're looking to push things out, take a few sighs out the mouth. So deep breath in, dump it out. One more time, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Keep track of how the pressure and the stretch changes. So we've stayed in the same position roughly with our torso, but our legs have moved. And so track how that switches things up on the seams of the legs, the backs of the legs, in your feet, in your hips, all those places. Really tap into the body with this practice. 2 more breaths here. And if at any time if you are practicing on a harder floor and this is too much for your back, grab a blanket and like lay it on your mat and lie on that. We're gonna move off of our back, but there's always that option to add some extra cushion underneath you. Okay, so very slowly roll off to the side. And you're gonna land on all fours on your mat. So you can move away from the wall for a little bit. We'll use it in a second. But you're gonna start with your cat-cows. So inhale, gaze comes to the front of the mat, belly droops. There's that word, towards the earth. Exhale, you're gonna push up into cat pose. Wow, that really threw me for a loop. Okay, so breathe in, back to cow. Back to basics we go. Exhale, round to cat. That's what I was looking for. Keep these slow. A lot of us, when we work out, we want it to be extreme all the time, and that's fine, totally fine. It's great, but sometimes it's important to slow down, take the pause, take the lesser pace, because that'll help balance you out. If your life is full of rush and fast and chaos, add in the opposite, which would be slow and gentle and steady. Take one more. And come back to tabletop. So from here, make sure you have room. Step back to high plank. Move to your down dog. In your down dog, if you're up against your wall, you can have your heels pushing into the wall just to mix things up. You might feel a little bit more supported, a little more sturdy in the hands and in the legs, just with that little bit of extra pressure from an outside source. 2 more breaths here. As you inhale, you're going to walk your hands back to your feet, so make sure you have room to make your way to a forward fold so that you're not completely bumped up against the wall. Breathe in for your half lift. Breathe back out to fold. Rise for extended mountain. Drop down, fold. And now you're going to scoot back to the wall. So you're in a forward fold on the wall. Your feet probably won't quite buddy up against, but you want your sit bones on the wall again. And then you can either grab the elbows, you can keep your hands on the mat, or if you're feeling pretty sturdy, you can grab your calves with your hands and hang out this way. There's not a lot of push into the wall, it's just there as a guide. So you don't have to be like, oh, I gotta push into the wall with my butt. No, you don't. It's just, like I said, it's just there to support you and carry you a little bit during your practice. Make sure that you're letting the head sink towards the earth. Crown of the head is reaching down towards your mat. Allowing the neck to lengthen and stretch so all that blood flow can get in between your vertebrae and do its thing. 2 more breaths. You can ground your hands, and we're just going to crawl forward slightly so we have room. So forward fold, breathe in for your half lift. Drop to fold on the out breath, rise extended mountain. Oh, big stretch, that's nice. Exhale, drop, fold. Half lift. Forward fold. Reach up, extended mountain. And exhale to bring the hands to heart center. So we're gonna do downward dog on the wall. Your feet are gonna come off your mat, and if that drives you crazy, you can flip your mat so that it's parallel, there it is, parallel to the wall. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna walk the feet nice and wide. You want a little bit of space between you and the wall. I don't know, like 3 feet, I'm bad at distances. And then you're just gonna bring your hands to the wall. So yeah, more than 3 feet, okay, there we go. So again, you're gonna hinge from your hips, as I like to say a ton, that's why I threw that again in there. And then hands are on the wall, push your tailbone back behind you. Shoulders are dropped away from the ears, of course. And then you should feel your shoulder blades spread out like pretty good here. And then come back to your breaths. Gaze is down at the mat, but it's neutral. Take your breath deep into the chest, deep into the belly. And notice the difference in your down dog on the wall versus your down dog. Like we're in a completely different position, but certain areas are still getting the same feelings. Like your calves are still fired up, your shoulders, your palms, but this is less pressure on the wrists. So if you end up having sore wrists at some point, you can always practice your down dog this way on the wall. Hold for 2 more breaths. Mindfully step back on the mat and then come upright. And now we're going to move to heart melting heart pose. That's what it's called. So it's like puppy pose but on the wall. Same idea. So you're getting that nice bend in the back to open up the chest, open up the heart. So you're going to bring your forearms to the wall now. Step back. You can have your palms together. Walk your elbows down so they're roughly in line with your shoulders. Bend the knees. And then arch forward with the chest, lengthen the tummy. So your torso is in like your cow shape, and then you're pushing your hips and your tailbone back behind you. Take some time, feel this out, like move your feet where you need to move. This is actually brand new for me. I rarely practice yoga on the wall, except for legs up the wall, which I do to help my anxiety. So this is new for me as well as you if you've never done this before. We're in this together. Stay with the breath. Really try to push that heart forward. Open it up. And sink into silence for 2 more breaths. Inhale to walk forward, come up slightly, slowly. And now from here, we're gonna do, you're gonna bring yourself all the way up to the wall so that your nose is almost against it. We're gonna do something to help our shoulder blades out. So you're gonna tee your arms, or not tee, you're gonna goal post your arms. And then you can have your belly up against the wall, nose is almost touching. And you're gonna make your hands into blades so that the outside of your hand, your pinky side, is up against the wall. So you're all snugged up, and then you're gonna inhale to pull the hands back just like 3 inches maybe, and exhale, bring them back to the wall. So inhale, pull back, motion coming from the elbows, exhale, come back to the wall. Stay with the breath as you go. I used to do this when I coached swim team. It's really good to loosen up your shoulder blades and open things up. And it's a good mindful mobility practice too. So take 2 more rounds. Not going back very far with the hands. And you can move off the wall. You're going to flip around. And then back's coming all the way to the wall. Yes, it's chair pose on the wall. Look at us go. So bringing your weight down and then sinking in with the feet. Knees do not go over the toes. Your weight is pushing back into the wall behind you, and you can extend the arms out in front of you. We used to have to do these in middle school. They called them wall sits in PE class. Maybe you had to suffer through this, maybe not, but hated these, hated. And I remember there being like a contest and like whoever got the best time, I think they got a prize. Maybe it was just bragging rights, I don't know. But yeah, I remember like not being a fan of these back in the day. Not really right now either. Take one more breath here and then we're gonna get out of this. Bring your hands back to the wall, support yourself, and then come up. So take things nice and easy as always. Inhale, up you go with your arms extended, mountain. Breathe out, drop down, fold. Half lift. Take your fold. Walk the hands back to the front of the mat. High plank. Deep breath in. As you exhale, travel down to the belly. Breathe in for cobra. Exhale to fold down and move to child's pose. And settle here for time. In your child's pose, feel your belly push out as you breathe in. Maybe it's pushing into your legs. Keep that connection with your body. Not passing any judgment or anything like that. Being with your body. In breath, come up. Here we go, back to high plank. Move to your down dog. Take a couple breaths here. You can pedal the heels if you wish. And now inhale, you can hop or step feet to hands, forward fold. Come up for your half lift. Exhale, drop to fold. Rise, extended mountain. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center. We're gonna take tree pose completely up against the wall. So you can have your heel up against the wall. It might be a little too close, so you can move it out a couple inches, but you're gonna lean into the wall with your weight. So coming up, grounding down with the left foot, bring the right foot up to the left calf or up to the left thigh. So low or high, up to you. But if you're working on your balance, especially if you're not quite there yet where you're completely off the wall, standing on one leg, being on the wall this way or just holding onto the wall this way, I often suggest this to my students in real-time classes because as we get older, our balance goes. It's just what happens. I've seen it. So either way, whichever you would like to do, but you're using the wall. And so hands can come to heart, or you can bring your branches up high, knowing that you're fully supported. The wall's behind you, it's got you. 2 more breaths. Drop the hands to heart center, ground the right foot down, bring your weight to that side, and then we'll shift to the other side. So left foot coming to the right calf or up to the right thigh again. High or low, don't push on your knee. Oh, this side is slippery for some reason. Okay, that's weird. Guess we're going to the calf. And then hands can come to heart, or you can bring your branches up again. Your weight is in the wall, so you're leaning back, but still balanced on one foot. It's pretty great. Balancing poses are awesome too if you have ankles that aren't quite as sturdy as you would like them to be. I have a friend that has rolled her ankle multiple times when we were younger, and so getting strength down there in that ankle joint is super important. Deep breath in, exhale, hands come to heart, ground the left foot, move off the wall just a wee little bit, breathe in, come up, extended mountain, breathe out, take it down to fold, and stay here with your rump on the wall. And you can again catch the calves with your hands or have them on the mat. Look back in between your legs at that beautiful wall space that's supporting you during your practice today. And rest here for 3 breaths. As you inhale, come up for a halfway lift. Booty still on the wall. Exhale, drop to fold. Breathe in, up you go. Extended mountain one more time. Oh, that's nice. Drop it down to fold. Booty on the wall. Half lift. Come back down to fold. Walk the hands in front of you to find your high plank. Deep breath in. Exhale, chaturanga all the way down to the belly. Lift for cobra. And exhale to drop. Move back to tabletop. And then from here, you're gonna pivot down, back on your booty. Must be my favorite word for this video today. So we're gonna head back to the wall. We're not gonna roll up on it right away though, because we're gonna take pigeon on the wall, which is actually pretty great. So get kind of close, and then you're gonna plant your left foot on the wall so that your leg is in 90 degrees. So you want your knee over your hip. You don't wanna be too far back or too close. You always want to avoid scary pressure on the knee. Once you're here in that good spot, check things out, and then you're going to cross your right ankle over the top of your left knee. And there you have it, pigeon on the wall. That's it, easy peasy. You can bring your hands back to your heart and your belly or drift them off to the side. And if you need a little more intensity, you can scoot a teeny bit closer to the wall so that your knee is coming back a little bit further. You should feel this down your IT band, into your glute, and on your right hip. Come back to the breath, sink in, let go, feel things out. Sometimes simple is better. Just trying to think of a theme for today, and sometimes I think it's just best to do what you need to do. Sometimes growing all the time can be very taxing. So take it easy on yourself during your path of growth. Take a pause, take a break. It's okay, which is what I'm trying to learn right now. It's very difficult. Okay, uncross, move the right foot to the wall, and then cross the left ankle. Oh, the side's tighter. Over the right knee. There we go. Got it. Nailed it. Again, track that sensation moving in your glute, your IT band area. This is also good if you have sciatic nerve issues. Touchy little sciatic nerve sometimes. Expand the belly with your breaths and allow the body to relax as you breathe out. You can uncross, plant both feet on the wall, and spread out through the four corners of your feet. Just taking 2 breaths like this. You can plant your feet back on the floor. You're gonna scoot back close to the wall with your butt, with your booty. I feel like sometimes things are like frowned upon or taboo in our world, but I'm gonna say them anyway. Okay, roll on up. So we're back to legs at the wall, just briefly. So earlier when we did our full split on the wall, in yin that's called dragonfly pose on the wall. Yin has different names for different poses sometimes. So like pigeon pose that we normally do is called swan in yin. So sometimes it's the same, but it's just called a different thing. So we're gonna do half dragonfly on the wall. So you're gonna stretch your left leg out to the side long, and then you're gonna fold your right leg in almost like you're heading for like a figure 4. And then your legs are pushing into the wall. So your left heel is pushing in, and then the outside of your right foot is pushing in so that you can get that sensation on the inner seam of your right leg. Arms are at their sides again. If you're catch yourself like trying to cupping my hands, I apologize, I talk with my hands a lot. So just let them flop on the floor, and if I need you to move them, I will definitely tell you. Kick it here for 2 more breaths. Slowly open up to full dragonfly. Here for a breath. And now fold the left leg. If you need to use your hand to guide, do it to it. For half dragonfly on the other side. And settle in here. If your brain's a bit chaotic today, it's completely fine. Try not to attach too many words to it. Easier said than done. But see if you can be a ball in the water with your brain. So just float. You're just bobbing, just floating through, ball in a stream. You might hit some rocks occasionally. It happens. Stay buoyant, stay bouncy, and keep on floating. Now all I can think of is Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. So yeah, be like Dory, just keep swimming, it's fine. Open back up to dragonfly. 2 breaths here. Drag the heels back together, or close, for legs up the wall. And this is how we will end today. So be with a breath, close the eyes down, and sink in. You can bring your hand back to your heart and back to your belly if that feels good for you, but it might feel best to have the hands on the earth, on the floor. We're going to end with a little bit of a guided meditation. So with your eyes closed, I want you to picture your bone marrow. So go completely inward. And if you don't know what bone marrow looks like, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Just imagine your bone marrow. Feel into it. That gooey spot in the center of your bones, the very core of your skeletal frame. And now head outward to your bones themselves, your sturdy, strong, stable bones. Your frame, it's what keeps you upright, helps you move, takes impact. And now picture your muscles wrapped around your bones, clinging there, helping you move your skeletal frame. Now picture your fascia. It's the casing, the webbing that holds you together, keeps your muscles and your bones together, holds you up, glides and slides around. You want your fascia to stay glidey and smooth. You don't want it to become rigid and dried out, which is why we do yoga. And now picture your blood flowing through all those teeny tiny intricate veins, swishing around, moving through you, giving you life. Bring your awareness outward to your skin. Notice any parts of your skin that are stretched and pulled, tight or loose. And now think about your entire body, your entire being, all the little details that make up you. It's completely remarkable. Take 3 more breaths where you are. Next in-breath, start to wiggle your toes. You can wiggle your fingers. Deep belly breath, coming back to awareness. And now very carefully slide the heels down, bend the legs, roll off the wall. And come up to a seated position. Close your eyes down. Bring your hands to your heart center. Remember, my friend, to take care this month as the year closes out. To make space for yourself and your self-care. Thank you 1,000 times for being here. With all the love and so much light. Namaste.